South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway. We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south-of-the-border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
Hi, I'm Kurt Angle. I represented the United States in the Olympics in 1996 and won a gold medal. Then I parlayed that into a pro wrestling career. I saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought, this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. He died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in, I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the race books and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. Alrighty. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program. We come to you live and direct from the gaming capital and the March Madness capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Right here from our studios on the main floor, right behind the Race and Sports Book at the South Point Hotel Casino on Las Vegas Boulevard in Las Vegas. And, of course, on the South Point Studio Streaming Network at YouTube. We welcome you to the show on a very, very brisk, active morning here in Las Vegas. People are already packed out in the sports book getting ready for day 2 of the March Madness basketball tournament. And what a day it was yesterday, and it's going to continue. Want to remind everybody out there, especially those of you listening beyond Las Vegas that are planning on catching a plane or getting in the car a little bit later on today and coming on up to Las Vegas for the weekend for the college basketball tournament. The only place to be is here at the South Point. This place was jumping yesterday. The big exhibit hall that has 2,000 seats in it was packed, and the March Madness, massive madness party continues today. Free parking outside, free entry to the exhibit hall. And, of course, big tables, beautiful. It had a lot of activities up there as well. And, of course, food and beverage discount prices. Look at those prices. I mean, it's ridiculous for the food and beverage, that's for sure. And, of course, they got betting windows, betting kiosks up there, so you can play your games as well. We've got guys sitting out here that have had breakfast, lunch, dinner, and cocktails in the evening before they ever left the room. And they're back here this morning. So it just brings a lot of energy and activity to the entire building here. So come on out and join us here at the South Point. Remember, it's free. It starts with parking your car free, getting in free, and all that good stuff. The first time you'll ever take money out of your pocket is to make a bet or buy a drink or something to eat. Okay. That's what's happening out here. And, of course, we're looking ahead to this weekend for our big event, our madness that comes up on the first weekend of May. And that, of course, the Kentucky Oaks and Kentucky Derby. As we've said all weekend long, 4 races this weekend that will have Kentucky Derby and or Kentucky Oaks points, all at 100 points, too, for the leaderboard. And that, of course, will be for the Kentucky Derby, the Louisiana Derby, and the Jeff Ruby Stakes, and for the Oaks, it'll be the Bourbonnette and the Fairgrounds Oaks as well. So the big racing will be going on at Turfway Park and the Fairgrounds this weekend, tomorrow, obviously for the big point getters and the big racing there. Fairgrounds got 8 stakes races tomorrow, 4 of them Grade 2s, and 4 others as well. And, of course, at Turfway Park, even though it's on synthetic going, they got 6 stakes races, 2 Grade 3s, and 4 others as well there. And we'll be taking a hard look at those horses. And there are several horses, I think there's 6 of them, that are racing over the weekend in the respective point-getting races that need points in those races to almost be guaranteed a spot in the starting gate for the Kentucky Oaks and or the Kentucky Derby. So we'll take a look at those as well. All I can tell you is the jockeys that are normally at either New York or in Florida or in California are all heading to those 2 big places, Turfway and the Fairgrounds, for the racing tomorrow. As far as Southern California is concerned, Flavien Prat, Juan Hernandez, and Rispoli will not be there. They're going to be out of town riding tomorrow. And as far as Gulfstream is concerned, Tyler Gaffleone, who had a nice day yesterday of racing, Ired Ortiz Jr., of course, the leading jockey there at Gulfstream, Frankie Dettori, and John Velasquez will all be at the Fairgrounds for the Louisiana Derby card. So while those guys are all concentrating on trying to get a Derby and Oaks mounts for the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks at those tracks, Louisiana Downs at the fairgrounds for the Louisiana Derby, and at Turfway for the Jeff Ruby. The other jocks in those respective jockey colonies will be having a good time trying to win races over the weekend as well. So we welcome you to the Friday show. And, of course, as I said, we come to you from Las Vegas, Nevada. And if you're running around town, like a lot of the people out here getting ready for the big day, second day of March Madness, you're probably listening to us on our anchor radio station, Sports Talk 1400 AM, 107.1 FM. And, of course, everybody else around the world jumping on with us at our websites, racedaylasvegas.com.vegas.world.global. Your iPhone, Android, and Google phone are covered with the apps, the KSHP app that you can hear through the radio station, the YouTube app that you can see and hear us through the YouTube app as well, and, of course, anywhere you get your podcasting. So taking a look at some of the stuff that happened yesterday, most of the stuff that happened yesterday at Gulfstream Park, our handicappers, Jonathan Hardoon, John Lendo, and Rich Eng all came up with plays yesterday. And they all ran second. So if you bet them win in place, you're doing fine. John Lendo's horse in the second race, Beaches and Pearls, finished second to Lady River Lily. They paid $31.80 there. And then later on, Rich Eng's pick in the race, West Side Tide, finished second to Playground Legend. Playground Legend went wire to wire on the turf under Tyler Gaffleone, who had his first of two wins yesterday. That horse paid $10.80 for Mike Maker. Mike Maker won a couple of stakes, couple of races yesterday. I'm assuming that he's looking forward to the stakes races over the weekend. But his first winner was with Tyler Gaffleone in the fifth race. That horse paid $10.80. And then Jonathan Hardoon's horse finished second in the sixth race, again to Tyler Gaffleone. Happy Bella finished second to Breezero. Breezero with Tyler Gaffleone for Marty Drexler paid $12.40. Paco Lopez had a couple of wins. He won the fourth race, paying $3.20. Came back in the seventh race for Mike Trombetta and paid $8 even. And Mike Maker's second win of the day came in the ninth and final race with Luis Saez aboard, paying $8 even. It was a day that there was one big priced horse, and that was in the second race that paid $31.80. Everything else was in the less than $13 payoffs across the board. Pick 6 paid $464.30, and the late pick 5 paid $873.70. All right, so on today's show, we've got Jonathan Hardoon standing by, Rich Eng. Rich Eng will have another play for us in college basketball and the college basketball tournament. All I can say is why people go so crazy for this college basketball tournament is the excitement that it has, because it's a win and you're in every game. It's either win and move on or lose and go home. And there have been maybe no real buzzer beaters yesterday, but there were a lot of teams, especially Richie's team. Richie gave out Yale plus 7.5. And although they did not play well at all, they hung in there. And within the last 30 seconds of the game, they still had an opportunity of covering the 7.5. They didn't, but they did have an opportunity to cover that 7.5. So these games are extremely exciting when you put in the point spreads in there while you're playing on them as well. So, but Rich is going to give us another game. If you remember, he teased us yesterday. He said he's got a good one for us today, so we'll wait and see there. And, of course, John Lenda will be with us, and so will Jerry Jackowitz on our show. And, of course, we got that racing menu coming up. As far as any of the other news around, it seems like there's a possibility that they could have racing at the Pleasanton Fair this year after all. Now, there's an investor group that's coming together for a possible pitch for racing at Pleasanton. One of the things that is going to make these investors move is what's happening to the horses right now that are training at Pleasanton, because they were going to close down the track at the end of the month, okay? And they're looking at trying to put together a race meet in June, which means there's a gap in there. Where are these horses that are training there and horses that they expect to enter into the races if they have a Pleasanton meet in January? Where are they going to be? Where are they going to train in the meantime? So they needed to find out if they could work out a deal to keep Pleasanton open. And that decision was supposed to come yesterday. It did. That decision, they said they're going to keep the stabling open for another month now. They got a 1-month additional approval for the training to stay open at Pleasanton, so the investors who are trying to put together the meet for June can get that thing up and going. If they do that, then they'll be able to bridge the training until June there at Pleasanton. So they're trying hard to get a race meet up at Pleasanton. And, of course, John Harris, of Harris Farms in California, is one of the head investors trying to get that done, along with George Schmidt. So we'll wait and see. Now, that meet, they say, if they can get it going, will be late June or early July. So we'll wait and see about that. They are trying very hard to get that done at Pleasanton. Oak Lawn Park, the Essex Stakes will bring back Kinetic and Tarantino, a couple of horses that have been running other places. They're going to be in the Essex Stakes there at Oak Lawn on the weekend. Turf Paradise, if you remember, they canceled last weekend that big Phoenix Gold Cup card they had at Turf Paradise last weekend because of the weather, the rain, the storm that went through there and kind of decomposed the racetrack a little. So they thought the racing was not safe on that Saturday to run after the rains that happened days before. Well, they got that all squared away at Turf Paradise now, so that a racing schedule of 5 stakes races highlighted by the Phoenix Gold Cup will happen tomorrow at Turf Paradise. So that racing card has been transferred to tomorrow from last Saturday's cancellation. So they got those 5 stakes races at Turf Paradise happening tomorrow, and of course headed up again by the Phoenix Gold Cup. And here's one that's really, I'm sure that Jonathan Hardoon will have a comment about. Rafael Bejarano, and riding at Oak Lawn Park, was fined $200 for misjudging the finish line at Oak Lawn. Now, Oak Lawn Park, like I believe Gulfstream and a few other racetracks around the country, I think Keeneland also has, they have 2 finish lines. One to accommodate a mile and 16th, and the other one's to accommodate the regular racing. So they have a short finish line, short stretch finish line, and a long stretch finish line. Well, in this race, Bejarano, this was a race that was being contested to the short finish line in the stretch. So Bejarano was leading, had his horse leading, passed under the short finish line, a winner by about a length, but then hit his horse, struck his horse again because he misjudged. He thought he had to go to the longer finish line. And so as a result of that, he won easily. But as a result of hitting the horse after the finish line before the late finish line, are you following this bouncing ball? He got a $200 fine for that. So that had to be a first, I think, for a jockey getting a fine as far as striking a horse after the finish line. And we will take a look at possibly some of the horses that need to clinch some points to get into the Kentucky Derby that are running over the weekend as well. So, with all of that going on, we'll go to our first break. We'll get you your racing menu and all that as activity continues behind us here at the Race and Sportsbook at the South Point for March Madness Day 2. And, of course, we are covering the great sport of Kings here in the studio. So, without any further ado, get to YouTube. Start chatting away. The chatters are going crazy again. Start chatting away. All you have to do is subscribe. Subscription is free, and then you can start adding to the chat box as well. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
All righty, back on Race Day Las Vegas for this Friday and taking a look at the weather here in Las Vegas. This is the weather that's going to be kind of prevailing for the rest of the weekend. It's 46 degrees outside right now. We're going to get up to 77, they say. 77 today in Las Vegas. And the sun is shining bright. A few clouds here and there. No wind to speak of for today. And it looks like this will be the type of weather we're going to have for the rest of the weekend here in Las Vegas. As a matter of fact, by Sunday, weatherman says we're going to get up to 81 degrees in the afternoon, but it'll be in the mid to low 40s overnight. And clear skies, sunny skies, no precipitation here in Las Vegas, just in case you're getting ready to jump in the car or fly on up for the weekend here in Las Vegas. Temperatures in other places, Miami, 72. New York, 54 and sunny. It's getting nice in New York as well. Chicago continues to be windy and 57 degrees. Phoenix, Arizona is going to be 84 today with a lot of sunshine there. Southern California, 77 degrees with a little bit of cloud cover and sunshine. That's good news because today, of course, Santa Anita begins another weekend of racing there. And, of course, as I say, here in Vegas, we're going to get around 77. Okay, that's the weather. As far as precipitation is concerned, the only weather at all that we have is way up in the northern corner of California, parts of Washington and Oregon. They still got some snow and rain going on up there, but it's isolated up there along the northern coastline. All right, so here's the menu of racetracks available today in the race books, simulcast centers, and racetracks around the country. First post times we broadcast on the show each and every day reflect that of the Pacific time zone. We are in the Pacific time zone, and these will be the first post times rolling out in our race book today. If you're listening anywhere else in the multitude of time zones that we have across the world, adjust the Pacific time zone, tweak it out so you don't miss anything in your time zone on the races, okay? We don't want you to miss anything for an opportunity of making a bet and a winning one. Like I miss mom and dad. Okay, here we go. Laurel Park. Laurel Park has a first post time for 8 races at 9:10. 9:10 today at Laurel for their 8 race card. Tampa Bay Downs will be next. Tampa Bay Downs has 9 races. Tampa Bay has a super high 5 carryover today of $6,492. And their first post time at Tampa Bay is set for their 9 race card at 9:40. 9:40 today at Tampa Bay. Next comes Gulfstream Park. Gulfstream Park, their first post time at Gulfstream is set at 9:50. 9:50 at Gulfstream today. Their Pick 6 jackpot carryover now starting to climb again after the mandatory on Sunday. Pick 6 jackpot carryover stands at $38,095 today. They have 9 races and a first post time of 9:50. Aqueduct, the Big A in New York, they say. All right, the Big A in New York. Let's see what the weather looks like there. The track is muddy, okay? 41 degrees, partly cloudy, a little bit windy. That's in this morning. By post time, they say it's going to be 46. It'll be sunny by post time, but the wind will still be there, and the track will start out in muddy conditions. But if they have wind going on and the sun coming out, that track should get pretty well close to fast by the end of the day. First post time at Aqueduct for their 8 races today is set at 10:10. 10:10 at Aqueduct today for their racing card at the Big A. All right, coming up next, we have Oaklawn Park. Oaklawn Park has 10 races. First post time at Oaklawn today is set at 10:30. 10:30 at Oaklawn Park today. Following that comes the Fairgrounds, getting ready for a big day of racing tomorrow. Fairgrounds has 9 races today. And they have a first post time at the Fairgrounds set at 10:45. 10:45 at the Fairgrounds today. Sunland Park is next. Sunland Park has a feature race today, the $90,000 Me Cristo Rey Stakes. That's the 9th race on the card for 3-year-olds and up at 5.5 furlongs. A full field of 12 before any scratches. They've got 10 races, all thoroughbreds today at Sunland Park. Super high 5 carryover there, $816. First post time at Sunland is set at 11:25. 11:25 at Sunland. Santa Anita gets back in business today. Santa Anita's first post time is at 1 o'clock this afternoon. 1 o'clock at Santa Anita today. And they have 8 races, by the way, at Santa Anita. Santa Anita's first post time is at 1 p.m. Remember, a little bit later now with the sun. Daylight savings time, 1 o'clock post for the first race of 8 today at Santa Anita. Penn National is next. Penn National has a first post time of 2:45 at Penn Nat today. And then we round it out with Turfway Park. Turfway Park has 8 races, just 8 races today at Turfway. And they'll have a big racing card tomorrow. But Turfway has 8 races today. They have a pick 6 jackpot carryover of $1,105. And their first post time at Turfway is set at 2:55 for their 8 race card. And of course, Charlestown will wrap up the racing menu. Their first post time is 4 p.m. for 8 races. Charlestown's got a nice pick 6 jackpot carryover today of $62,602. And again, first post time is at 4 p.m. for the racing card at Charlestown. That wraps it up on this Madness Friday. Let's go out to Jonathan Hardoon standing by, which looks like he's in a much calmer place than I am right now. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
I'm doing fine. You know, it's always, usually when I come in early in the morning here before the activity starts, except maybe on NFL Sundays, when I come in, the sports book behind us is usually calm and nice, a few people in there, the crew getting ready for the day's activities. But when you get to March Madness, on the 2 big weekends of March Madness, and this is the first of the 2 big ones anyhow, this place gets jammed up and started like at 5 in the morning. You know, we come walking through here at about 6:15, but it's starting to go at 5 in the morning, and people are already reserving their seats and making their bets and all that. So it gives a lot of energy into the place, you know?
It reminds me a little bit of Saratoga in the summer, like on Travers Day and those big days.
Yep.
They have picnic tables in the backyard, so people come like 5 in the morning to reserve a seat and a table, and then they sit there for 6 hours before anything even starts. So
I know.
what it's like.
Well, you know, one wonders the fortitude that players have to get a really nice seat, that's for sure. But in any case, it was nonstop action. You know, when you got all these games going on around the country and all these games that, you know, fantastic finishes and all that stuff there, it keeps the adrenaline going, that's for sure. I'm sure that if any of these players back here did get any sleep between last night and this morning, it was probably sound sleep.
Yeah, and the beauty of betting sports, you could be up by 12 points, but if you laid 13, you're not leaving
right.
that until the last second. So
believe me when I tell you.
Over.
Yeah, believe me when I tell you that was the case with the Richie's pick yesterday. We always going to lose the game anyhow, but they were. I mean, the last 2 possessions, they had an opportunity of getting within the 7.5 points. They had an opportunity to cut it to 7 and 6, and would have made the bet a winning one, but they didn't. So
it's torturous. It could be absolutely torturous, and that's just the nature of the game, I guess.
And it, by the way, though, it turns a lot of losing tickets into winning ones and winning ones into losing ones. Remember that. You know, there is another side to that, that's for sure. Hey, listen, talking about being aggravating, what about you guys? Every one of our handicappers had all your horses finished second yesterday. One of them was an aggravating loss on your part, I know.
Well, live horses, that's all we try to do, Ralph, is give out live horses and try to find some value. And as long as people get a run for their money, they can't complain.
No, not at all. That's for sure. Well, this weekend, you know, we have those races that have the points for the Kentucky Derby. And believe it or not, we're talking about, you know, horses that the 100 points mean something. I mean, the horses that are going to get these 100 points are almost guaranteed to be in the Kentucky Derby if they choose to do so. And so, you know, it's a lot of the horses that are kind of sitting on the cusp but need to get in there and get some points to try to make their way into the field. So now we're getting into the nitty-gritty where these prep races and all but, I think, Dwayne Lucas, who is entertaining running his horse one more time before the Kentucky Derby. Usually, this will be the last time they have an opportunity to get points in prep before the Kentucky Derby because we're getting too close, at least these days and times, to the Derby. Do you remember? And I do because I'm an old guy, but in any case, I remember when Churchill Downs, when they opened the racing at Churchill Downs in their spring meeting, the first weekend they had what they called the Derby Trial.
Right.
Horses ran in that race to prep themselves for the Kentucky Derby 1 week later. But the Derby trial doesn't exist anymore because that's not the way they train horses anymore.
Exactly. It's a completely different game. I mean, you still have some throwbacks where trainers will blow out a horse the morning of a race, but training certainly has changed. And with Heise involved and then looking over your shoulder at every single thing you do, I'm sure that also has an effect on it. But you're right, Ralph. It's not even so much the 100 pointers. If you run second or third, you're also going to get points. And there are horses with, maybe 30 points or 40 points. So they don't necessarily need the 100, but they certainly could use a second or third where you're going to get some major points. I think you're going to need probably like 50 points to get in. So, that's probably the number a lot of trainers are pointing for.
Yeah, they just want to, it is a prep. Okay.
Yes, you don't want to empty your horse out, I know there's still plenty of time to the Derby, but as it gets closer, you don't want to empty them out and squeeze all the juice out of the lemon, so to speak. So, they have to get in, but they also have to leave something in the tank. So,
and Jonathan, it's kind of some people sit there and say, can't believe the fact that these trainers and these owners are prepping horses in races that have a purse value of $1 million.
Well, yeah, but winning the Derby or hitting the board in the Derby, well, all of a sudden your value goes way up as far as breeding and other things. And the prestige, obviously, people get into the game to win the Derby. If you ever ask a trainer, the most important race they ever want to win for the most part is the Derby. And that's why it is the way it is.
Yeah, and it is important, I guess, obviously, to win the Kentucky Derby for breeding purposes. But then you risk running your horse after the Derby. Of course, after the Triple Crown, you'll always try for the Triple Crown. That could deflate the breeding value of the horse. Like we're talking about like Rich Strike. Remember, he won that the Kentucky Derby in a shocker a couple of years ago.
Hasn't won a race since then. Yeah. So
there's a lot of balances going on. But we all look forward to the first Saturday in May and the Kentucky Derby. That's the one thing. It doesn't matter what you do before or after. You'll always have that Derby and that Derby experience and that Derby trophy. And for the gamblers like us, it's always guys that are looking for a big score in the Kentucky Derby. I mean, the superfecta and the trifectas usually pay gargantuan because of the big purses, the big pools, I should say, in those races.
And the big fields also. I mean, listen, the favorite for the Derby usually goes off probably 4-1, maybe even 5-1. That's why all these people that are betting these future books and not taking a big price, they're making a big mistake because a lot of horses will go off, not the same price that they were early, but sometimes you get a better price on Derby Day than you do in the future book. So pay attention. Don't take any short prices. You're making a big mistake by doing so.
All right, we're getting to this weekend for the 100-pointers, the big, Louisiana Derby at the fairgrounds, which is their pinnacle. That's the end of all these Derby preps leading up to the fairgrounds, the Louisiana Derby. And, of course, that's a prep for the Kentucky Derby. We go on and on about that. But we're looking at, there at this point in time, I really don't have a strong feel for anybody in the for the Kentucky Derby. My feel right now as the leader, in my opinion, the way I saw it, was journalism. But we got the Citizen Bull out there. We got a lot of horses, but
and it's going to change, Ralph, after each race, and a horse will win impressively, and everyone will jump off of journalism and go to that horse. It's too early, just too early to be making, concrete decisions, in my opinion. And by the way, if you're playing fairgrounds tomorrow, a lot of horses are cross-entered between fairgrounds and Oaklawn. Like Kinetic is entered at fairgrounds in the night, but he's running at Oaklawn.
Right.
There are horses, so make sure Tarantino is opting for Oaklawn. I guess they want to avoid Sierra Leone because he makes his return to the races tomorrow in the 9th race, the New Orleans, one of the stakes at Fairgrounds. So that's going to be a terrific race just to see how Sierra Leone comes back. And by the way, he's getting Lasix for the first time tomorrow. So pay attention.
Now, as far as that's concerned, but that's a stakes race. I guess he can run in this. Because he's an older horse.
Older horses at fairgrounds could run on Lasix, There's very few, stake races, tracks that allow. Woodbine allows it, Fairgrounds allows it, but for the most part, stake races and Lasix do not agree. They don't. You can't run on Lasix most of the stake races.
Okay, so we got 10 horses in that race you're talking about. Sierra Leone is 7-5 on the morning line. He'll be shorter now with the defection of Kinetic. Brad Cox.
And Tarantino's also coming out.
Right.
So that
and at Tarantino. But they were 10-1 and 15-1 respectively anyhow. But you have, there's a horse called Hall of Fame in the race. Steve Asmussen gets Jose Ortiz, and you were just talking about how Jose Ortiz is really knocking him dead at the fairgrounds. But do you think this horse has an opportunity of maybe beating Leone?
Well, he's getting good now. There's a lot of interesting horses in it. Look at the number 5 horse, Touch Upon a Star, Ralph. 20 career starts, never missed the board.
Wow.
You don't see that. 20 starts, 14 wins, 4 seconds, and 2/3. The horse has made over $1 million. I mean, that's just unheard of. To go out 20 times and not miss the board, that's pretty impressive.
Well, Jonathan, that horse is a 6-year-old gelding, so he's going to be around a while. But his daddy, he's an offspring of Star Guitar, and Star Guitar had that same trait. There,
right.
He's a legend there because of his record as well. So he passed on that gene, obviously, to Touch Upon a Star.
Yeah, I mean, when I just looked at it, I just couldn't. I was just like, I can't think of another horse. Obviously there are great horses, but they don't even last 20 races. They usually retired way before that opportunity. But to go to the gate 20 times and not miss the board, I mean, how many horses could really say that? Not many.
In looking at this race, then, you would conclude, I think, that if Sierra Leone comes back as Sierra Leone, he should polish off this field. But Sierra Leone may very well be beating Sierra Leone, if you know what I mean.
Well, he usually does, We got divorced last year, but we reconciled a little bit in the previous if you remember.
Yeah.
But he killed me. I was chasing him. I mean, he just was really a good horse. He was improving in every start. I just like the fact that he's getting Lasix. And by the way, he's 1-for-1 at Fairgrounds. He won the Risen Star there last year, if you remember.
Yeah.
Coming from like dead last at the top of the stretch, he was about as impressive a winner as you'll find. And the fact that he's getting Lasix, Pratt's spending the day there. Well, he's got a lot of horses that he's riding. So we'll discuss those races tomorrow, I'm sure.
Okay, let's discuss getting a couple of winners today, Jonathan. You guys did a great job giving out live horses. They all ran second yesterday. I know they didn't win, but they were live. Where are we going for some picks today?
Okay, well, last night it poured in New York for a couple of hours, so the track is starting off muddy, like you said, but it is a breezy day, and it should, dry out relatively quickly. I would say it'll probably be good by the middle of the day. Anyway, we're going to look at the 7th race today, a mile on the main track. That's one turn, and I like the number 6 horse in here, Dr. Kraft, a 5-year-old from the Chris Engelhart barn. Lane Luzzy, who's been really riding terrific.
Yeah.
This was solid horse. He hits every time. He's listed at 6-1 on the morning line. Always gives a good effort. I like number 6, Dr. Kraft, to upset and win today's 7th race. Full field, no late scratches in there.
There is one late scratch, number 9. Dolly's Bank is scratched. That was a long shot at 30-1. The 9 horses out, but there's still 9 horses in the race, 8 betting interest. There is a coupled entry. But you like number 6, Dr. Kraft, and I can see by the morning line that it's a pretty wide-open competitive race. So in the 7th race, number 6, Dr. Kraft, to get the win under Lane Luzzy, who is, I got to tell you, he's a solid rider, and his dad was pretty good, too.
Yeah, Mike Luzzy, that's his agent, by the way. His father is his agent, so they keep it in the family, so that's good.
Okay, good.
Let's
and they're Italian, so I imagine that when something goes wrong, there's probably a pretty heated discussion at the dinner table. But in any case, we'll get the job done today in the 7th race, number 6, I should say, number 6 in the 7th race, Dr. Kraft. We going to Gulfstream next?
Yeah, let's look at the 2nd race today, 7.5 furlongs on the turf. And I like the number 3 horse in here, Sansalicious. This is a 3-year-old filly from the Wesley Ward barn. Waters 5 for 17 at the meet, hitting at 29%.
Wow.
Mika Husband's aboard to ride. The horse is listed at 5-1 on the morning line. Ran sneaky well last time out when trying grass for the first time. He has the advantage of breaking from an inside post, going 7.5 furlongs. I like number 3, Sansalicious, to upset and win today's second race out at Gulfstream.
Well, let's get a sneaky win there with Sansalicious in the second race, the 3, Sansalicious. And I would imagine you got something at Santa Anita.
Yeah, 8th race today. It's a mile on the main track. And it's honestly, Ralph, it's kind of a chalky card, especially the early part. But I like a horse in the 8th race, number 3, Impossible Task. An 8-year-old gelding makes his first start for Jesus Uranga, who's 3 for 8 at the meet. This horse is going to be on the lead or certainly close to it. 9-2 on the morning line. I like number 3, Impossible Task, to send you home a winner in today's 8th and final out at Santa Anita.
Well, let's hope he's not appropriately named Impossible Task. Let's make it a Possible Task. In the 8th race, the 3 horse, Possible Task. We're going to rename him for the bet only. In the 8th race, the 3 horse at Santa Anita, and that is the last race on the card with an 8-race card there at Santa Anita. Remember, he's got a full sheet for Santa Anita, for Aqueduct, for Gulfstream, and for Oaklawn Park as well. You've been doing a lot of work there, buddy.
JONHJRDOON.com. And tomorrow we'll be adding fairgrounds to the menu. A lot of requests. It's a big day there, so we'll be prepared.
Okay, we're going to go over those stakes races tomorrow at the fairgrounds. And don't forget, we got to talk about a little bit about the Jeff Ruby, too.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
All right.
Thank you, Ralph.
Thanks a lot, Jonathan. We continue from March Madness headquarters here at the South Point, and Rich Eng is coming up next. Remember, he gave us a tease yesterday about a game he likes today. Don't go away.
Here we are in Houston, opening up our first veteran village. This beautiful building that's going to house 161 homeless veterans. Any veteran that risks their lives and they're struggling with PTSD, mental illness, addiction. We're also building what I call comfort homes, 500 square foot homes. These are for older homeless veterans, so they have their own space and give them back some of their dignity, some of their independence, and most certainly give them back their life. Go to T2T.org to learn how you can change a veteran's life forever.
South Point offers all the types of entertainment you'd expect at a first-class Las Vegas resort. Did you know our 400-seat showroom is one of Las Vegas's top destinations for live entertainment? Enjoy live performances by classic Vegas entertainers, bands, and today's hottest comedians, plus a rockin' dance floor. You can also enjoy live entertainment at the Grandview Lounge, where you'll feel all the vibes of old Las Vegas. Enjoy the music, and if you love to laugh, don't miss The Dirty at 12:30, our very own free comedy show, every Friday night at 12:30 a.m. in the Grandview Lounge. The Dirty is 100% free, so arrive early. Go to southpointcasino.com or call the box office at 77136 for today's performances at the showroom and the Grandview Lounge. When you're ready for your favorite cocktail, stop in and unwind at one of our 7 specialty lounges. There's a bar around every corner, because you're in Vegas, baby.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Remember, we got that massive madness party going on here today and again tomorrow for the first big weekend of March Madness. Free parking, free entry. The big, huge exhibit hall with big, huge, theater-sized, viewing for the big pictures there. And, of course, a lot of activities inside, too, as well. Come on and take a look. And it's free entry to that. There's about 2,000 seats in there. And, of course, all the great food and beverage prices as well. The discounts, the best is here, because the first thing out of your pocket's going to be either to make a bet or buy a drink or buy some food. The rest is free. So come on out and enjoy. And by the way, right behind us, they're stacking up already in the sports book. And by the way, also right here, don't go away, right here, at 8:45 today, a special start time at 8:45 today will be Sports by the Book. And if you don't think you need their help, you need it today for the March Madness. Make sure you tie yourself on for Sports by the Book. Remember, it's at 8:45, special start time this morning, because they got a lot to talk about, that's for sure. And now we go to Rich Yang standing by, who has a thought about March Madness as well. Richie, good morning.
Good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners. And I apologize for the tissue up my nose, but my nose started bleeding, Ralph. But like a boxer in a match, I wasn't going to quit on you.
Yeah, well, just as long as it'll be okay. That's fine. In any case, Richie, we had an opportunity of actually winning that bet last night and covering the 7.5 with 30 seconds left to go in the game. The last two possessions, we had an opportunity to win the bet. They weren't going to win the game, Yale. But I got to tell you, I was disappointed in their ball handling and their free throw shooting.
Well, I sent you a text last night, Ralph, that the Yale's best player was the worst player on the floor. He ended up fouling out, scoring only 2 points. And it's amazing that Yale actually was competitive when their best player played so poorly.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, they played poorly, yet they were in the realm of covering the point spread, which was really amazing. But we got beat. So now we're waiting for that big teaser you had from yesterday.
Yeah, and also before I preface that pick, I did give out on the show fading the Mountain West Conference. So people played UCLA last night against Utah State. That was an easy cover. UCLA won by 25. They were favored by 5. There are 2 more Mountain West Conference games today. New Mexico is against Marquette, and Colorado State against Memphis. So if you fade the Mountain West Conference, you'll take the other side. As far as the pick for today, Ralph, let's go to game number 807, 808. I like Grand Canyon plus 10.5 against Maryland. Grand Canyon, similar to Yale last year, won their first round game as a big underdog, and they're a big underdog again. They got a nice ball club. Let's go with the Grand Canyon plus the 10.5.
All right. They, by the way, people are taking heed to your thoughts as well in that game because it opened up at 12.5. Maryland did. Now it's down to 10.5. You say?
Yeah, I have 10.5 in my pocket. Yes.
Okay. Grand Canyon to stay within the number, maybe even win it at 10.5 over Maryland. That game will start to tip off right around 1:35. All right. We'll get a horse pick from you. You ran. We were close in the ball game, and we ran second with your pick yesterday at Santa Anita. What are we doing today?
Last race, we got a Siraco play at Santa Anita. I'm going to go with number 8, Mother's Prayer, 5-2 in the morning line. This horse ran terrible last time, but it was on a big class rise. The horse drops back to a class that won 2 back, was an easy winner 2 races ago. Repeat of that race wins this. Let's go with the 8, Mother's Prayer, and the Siraco play with Jonathan.
All right, you got an 8th race, the 8-horse Mother's Prayer, the 8 for you in the 8th. Jonathan has the 3, so I got a Siraco play of a 3-8, 8-3 exacta box. You're on the 8, and Grand Canyon as well. Go take care of yourself, my man, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Rob. Good luck, everybody.
All right, and Richie's got all of his selections for Santa Anita right now at our website, the racedaylasvegas.com website. Just go there and you'll get the rest of Richie's picks for the races. Coming up next is John Lindo from Southern California and Jerry J. before we step away and get ready for Sports by the Book. Don't go away.
If you're celebrating a special occasion or just love fine dining, you're in the right place. Come experience the crown jewel of South Point restaurants, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Welcome.
With over 600 different types of wines and magnificent dishes prepared tableside, you'll revel in the rich classic Vegas decor and the best black tie service in the world. This intimate gourmet room has earned accolades galore. Come to Michael's Gourmet Room for an unforgettable dining experience. Another famous restaurant is the Silverado Steakhouse, where you'll find the charm and service that discerning patrons require. From top quality steaks and chops to fresh seafood and desserts, you'll love the award-winning wine list and menu at Silverado Steakhouse. Steak lovers have even more options with primarily prime rib. Catering to hearty appetites, the menu features a variety of flavorful prime rib cuts, dry aged to ensure tenderness, and then seasoned and slowly roasted. Although prime rib is our specialty, it's not the only thing on the menu. There's something for everyone.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Time to go out to John Lendo standing by in Southern California. John, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How you doing?
Doing fine, my man. A lot of activity going on here. Let me ask you, I guess March Madness even permeates Southern California players too, right?
Sure. Well, for me, I'm a UC San Diego graduate. It was great to see them get in the big dance in their first try. And it wasn't a pretty game, but they kept trying. They got the lead there late, couldn't quite get there. But congratulations to UCSD for getting in the tournament. Yep, that's for sure. And of course, we got a lot more activity today, and we got racing at Santa Anita as well today, with an 8-race card. And, of course, a lot of jocks will be out of town from both Southern California and in Florida, all at either Fairgrounds or Turfway Park tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Flavian Prat is out there riding at the Fairgrounds. And then you've got Umberto Rispoli and Juan Hernandez over at Turfway Park riding out there for all those stakes races. They're all trying to find a good 3-year-old for the Derby. Well, I know that Kazuchi Kimura finally makes it back to the races today. He has 3 mounts. He's going to ride the 3rd, 5th, and 8th. And quickly, let's go through the jockey trainer standings. As far as the jocks trainers goes, right now, you got Juan Hernandez as your leading jockey. He's got 43 winners. Flavian Prat second with 41. Umberto Rispoli rounds out the top 3. He's got 32. As far as the trainers go, Mark Glatt remains the leading trainer, 25 wins. Bob Baffert in second with 23. Then you have Jeff Mullins, Michael McCarthy, and Doug O'Neill. They've all got 18 winners. All righty. And what about them favorites? Are we're making any headway there? It's going your way, Ralph. It's all the way down to 45% for the meet. Yeah, it's going my way all the way down to 45. When it gets around 32 or 33 is right where it should be, and we'll wait and see about that. That's for sure. But all systems go. Good racing day today in Southern California, right? Yeah, weather's perfect. Conditions will be fine. Just, a card that's a little lackluster, to be honest with you. Okay. We got to get right to a pick because we got Jerry Jackowitz standing by. 2 quick picks. I did one at Gulfstream Park because of the Santa Anita cars. At Gulfstream Park, race number 9, number 5, Good, Better, Best, been in the exacta 7 of his last 8 starts, ran really well at the same level last time. Ought to get a good tactical trip in here. 6-1 on the program. Number 5, Good, Better, Best, race number 9 at Gulfstream Park. And at Santa Anita, I'm on the same horse as Richie Yang in the 8th and final. Mother's Prayer back in with restricted Northern California horses. Destroyed these kind of horses 2 back. I think in the proper spot, you're going to see that horse again today. Number 8, Mother's Prayer, 5-2. 8th and final, Santa Anita. Well, we got a good housekeeping seal of approval for handicappers. 2 handicappers on the same horse in the 8th race. That's number 8, Mother's Prayer. And, of course, Hardoon has the 3. A lot of action going into the 8th and final. The Siraco play again is 3-8, 8-3 exacta box. You and Richie are on the 8. And, of course, Good, Better, Best, we're hoping is the best in the 9th race at Gulfstream. That's the 5 horse in the 9th at Gulfstream. The Linda Report covering all the races today at Santa Anita, plus a suggested late pick 4, a coast-to-coast pick 5 between Santa Anita and Gulfstream Park, and all that good information on one comprehensive sheet, and that is the Linda Report, available only in one place here in the gaming capital, and that is here at the South Point Racebook, free of charge, complimentary to the race players, because they love race players here as well. Thanks a lot, John. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, Ralph. Good luck today. All right, you got it, my man. Now we go to Jerry Jackowitz standing by. Jerry, all of our handicappers had a second-place finish yesterday, which meant you guys all gave out live horses.
We did we?
Yes.
Okay. Pretty good.
Okay, we're going to Aqueduct first, you think?
Because I didn't give out any horses yesterday, Ralph.
No, I know that. I'd say all our handicappers, they gave out horses.
Oh, the pressure's on. I see.
Yeah, the pressure's on. No, we're going to get winners out of you. Aqueduct?
Let's go to the 4th race today at Aqueduct. It looks like we're muddy there, so we'll have to look at the condition as it goes along. But
they said it's muddy, but it's a lot windy out there and the sun is shining, so I figure it's going to get pretty fast, pretty quick.
Yeah, it'll probably become good. Yeah, something like that.
Okay, 4th race.
I like Bam Bam's Kiss an awful lot. At 5-2, this is a pop out key to me because I think the right price is 6-5.
Wow.
For David Duggan. Second off, a little fresh. This is harsh. 3 wide on the lead. Mm-hmm. Should be really well conditioned today, and I think it's too fast for these. I think the 4 looks right to me. I'll take the 4. Maybe just a win bet here, but exotics 4 over 2-3-7, small reverses. I'm all about the 4 horse in the 4th. Bam's Bam's Bliss Kiss.
All right, in the fourth race, number 4, Bam's Bliss Kiss, and the link-ups, if you choose, are numbers 2, 3, and 7, and reverse, but the big play is on the 4 in the fourth race at Aqueduct. Jerry J's pick there. What about Sanita?
I'm loving this play because I get to take the boys on. It's going to be me against them. I love Impossible Task in the eighth. I mean, this is just like really, second time off a claim for a really good claiming trainer, Jesus Aranga. The last race, he had a little conditioner in between and down at Los Alamitos.
Okay.
I think that on what I call PPN's projected power numbers, this horse is raced faster than these and really rates out faster than these. So I think at 9-2, you're getting the best of it every which way. I'll take the 3 over the 4-8-10, reverse 4-8-10 over the 3. I think the 3 is a great pop-out key. Impossible Task, the 3 in race number 8.
All right, you like the 3 in the 8th race. The link-ups for you are 4, 8, and 10, and reverse. Now we have a tag team match between our handicappers because Jerry and Jonathan both land on number 3. Richie and Lendo both land on number 8. So it's a super Siraco box for me, 3-8-8-3, and let the games begin.
The two of them are like, have me in the center of the ring. They've pinned me down, and somehow I feel like I'm just going to throw them both off.
Well, your power page of Sanita and Aqueduct at jerryjspowerpage.com. Say it, Jerry.
Have a great race day, everybody.